Good evening, everybody. It's actually midnight, the 8th of December. It's a late video. I'm shooting this after all my errands and after work. I wanted to touch base with you on the new deal that Palantir had with Merck in Europe. So, not to get confused with the pharmaceutical company based in the States. I think this deal is a very impressive, very telling, and also um, important for Palantir. But I'm gonna weigh the pros and cons. I know a lot of people on the boards were excited about it, saying Palantir is doing a joint venture with a huge uh, billion-dollar company. However, I kind of see I don't see the path or the path to profitability or the path to increase profits or revenues right away. It seems like this joint venture was just launched and it just went public for a specific industry. Merck in Europe, I know nothing about them, but as far as I know, from my preliminary scanning, is that it's a electronics company, so they do dabble in semiconductors and these precious chips that are in scarce supply. So what I'm gonna do today is run through the news, try to dig a bit deeper, try to understand what's the significance for Palantir, what we can take away from it, and allow us to gain the information to make the best decision for ourselves. Obviously, whatever I discuss in this video is my opinion. You shouldn't take it as financial advice. You should only take it as my opinion and an opportunity for you to educate yourself and also even fact check me. So feel free to leave your comments, and I would love to have your feedback. This is a low production video. I do it after work. I'm doing it more as a opportunity to teach myself, and I thought, why not take the same time to pass that knowledge to others. So I love your support, and let's get started. So this is not the news. This is not the news. Where is it? So this is the news that we heard of that was released today. I'm officially on the Merck page. So let's go through it quickly. Uh, Merck, a leading science and technology company, and Palantir, a leading builder of operating systems for the modern enterprise, today announced a new partnership to deliver a secure, collaborative data analytics platform for the semiconductor industry. The Athinia platform will leverage AI and big data to solve critical challenges, such as chip shortages, improve quality and supply chain transparency, and time to market. Laura Matz, Chief Science and Technology Officer of Merck, based in Germany, will lead the partnership as CEO of Athinia. So far, this literally just sounds like Foundry, but it's been repurposed, and it's a partnership that Merck in Germany is going to in essence or in substance, lead, uh, because I guess they have a bigger inning or a bigger relationship with the semiconductor suppliers and is a important player in this industry. Rather than assuming, I mean, let's just check for ourselves right now, right? So, what's the company's name? Merck KGaA, Germany. What does Google tell us? They are a pharmaceutical company in Germany. That's fine, but they do have an electric subsidy. Now let's see if we can get some details on that. So electronics, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so electronics EMD performance material is now. It was time to have a name that reflects who we are within our business at EMD Electronics. All our science and all of our technology adds up to moments that are beyond any calculation. Together with our customers, we are creating the infrastructure and backbone for a modern society to run on. We are the company behind the companies. Sounds like Palantir too. Semiconductors. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. We enable the semiconductor industry to make electronic devices more powerful by providing highly innovative material-based solutions. Oh, they have a video for us novices. That's the right word. The politically correct word. So let's take a look. Yeah, sounds on. I don't hear anything.
Electronics is at the heart of modern living. Our futures depend on it, so there's a constant demand to do more with less, faster. The speed of technology convergence is breathtaking. More and more functions are being consolidated into smaller, more adaptive, more powerful devices. This is made possible by shrinking electronic components, with multiple features approaching atomic dimensions. Electronics starts with us. We're building electronics from the atom up. Our excellence at the atomic level enables our customers to realize perfectly smooth layers just a few atoms thick. We have the expertise and data analytics to push boundaries and set new standards to deliver extreme efficiencies. When you're dealing with precision at this level, you're dealing with new paradigms, rich with new opportunities. You see things differently. We've been in electronics since the 60s. With relentless curiosity, we have continued to expand and deliver breakthrough innovations, so that today we serve our customers with the broadest portfolio of unique materials, equipment, and services. We've been focused on quality and reliability for over 350 years. In electronics, we honor that tradition by delivering with industry-leading precision, purity, and safety. Today, almost nothing digital exists without our vibrant touch. We don't do this alone, but always together with our customers and partners. The extraordinary commitment of our people and their award-winning collaboration leads to a stronger, more exciting world. We are the company behind the companies, advancing digital living.
Alright, so it was a lot of fluff. I still don't understand what they do. But let's see if we could get some more meat here. Okay, so it looks like they're materials based, or looks like they're engineers that are offering solutions to improve the efficiencies of the materials being used in production. Okay, I'm deep in it. This is all things I can read, but it doesn't mean anything to me, so I'm gonna retreat just a little bit. There's also another press release here. Let's see if we can get some details on how big the EMD businesses. There you go. Straight to the point. This is what I love. Don't you love it? Straight to the point. Let's go. So, EBITDA for electronics represents 30% of this conglomerate business. This business clears about a billion euros per quarter. Ooh, that's pretty big. So on a 9-month basis, wow, they have been growing. What was it? 17%. Yeah, they grew 17%. So in 2020, the electronics business was, I mean, the group was making 3.9, about 4 billion, and now they make 4.6. And the electronic business itself cleared 778, and this period it cleared 828. So that was a growth of 6%. So it looks like they have a healthy business here that makes, if we look at the rate it's going, for sure they're going to hit a billion in 12 months. So it's $1 billion electronic business. So clearly they are the company behind companies. So that, at least that's promising. Now, I guess the storyline here is Palantir is partnering with the billion-dollar division in relation to the semiconductor industry specifically. So how does Palantir monetize this? Excuse me. So how does Palantir monetize this if the joint venture just started? I mean, there's so many questions that I have. Like, why didn't Palantir, do this deal with EMD and with EMD suppliers? Probably because EMD is very secretive about its suppliers. So EMD proposed that, we both have a lot to win from this. Why don't we work together and I can unlock the insights in my supply chain, and we can offer these gains to other players in the industry that are similar to me, and we can all win together. So I think that was the plan, and for Alex Karp, it was a no-brainer. Why was it a no-brainer? Because he doesn't have to invest as much in sales. The clients are already known. The potential customers are already known. They're all industry players that Laura Matz would obviously have relations with. So I think that's why this partnership was formed. Because if Palantir was to do it on its own, the investments required to build the industry connections, the networking, the sales pipeline would have been too complicated and too costly. Whereas Laura Matz, who's already running the science, she's already running Merck and she's a science and technology officer, she probably has all the connections lined up. So that way she can easily monetize Athinia. And I guess the contributions that Palantir would make it to Athinia is offering Foundry for free, and the contributions Laura would offer Athinia is her leadership, her expertise, her knowledge, her industry connections. So now if we were to read this, Athinia will bring semiconductor manufacturers and material suppliers together to share, aggregate, and analyze data to unlock efficiencies, The platform will also enable industry actors to understand on a deeper level the interaction between materials and processes at semiconductor fabrication plants. The semiconductor industry is facing unprecedented disruption. This has created a critical need for secure data collaboration platform that can provide the transparency and data intelligence companies need to solve challenges such as chip shortages and supply chain issues, said member of the executive board. Partnering with Palantir, we've combined our collective expertise in material science, data analytics, and security to increase our customers' efficiencies and time to innovation. Okay, so having read this, I start to see that EMD is probably also a service provider to their customers, and they skim off the top of everything that their customers make. So if their customers are profitable, then clearly EMD is more profitable. And if the customers are becoming more profitable, then the customers' competitors are also gonna say, hey, I want what they're doing. So let's start pivoting towards Athinia. We are excited to partner with market leaders in the space to create an ecosystem that will enable semiconductor companies and their suppliers to collaborate to make better decisions, combating simultaneous demand and supply shocks. Athinia will help companies across the value chain bring new products to market faster and accelerate their differentiation, product differentiation and growth. By harnessing Palantir's unique experience in building inter-organization ecosystems, Athinia will enable advanced data analytics, in turn limiting the costly impact of quality or performance excursions across the value chain from supplier to semiconductor fabrication plants. So there's some meat here. Okay, so Merck and Palantir have already proven to be successful in using collaborative data analytics to help customers minimize quality deviations and increase efficiencies. Athinia will build upon this experience and leverage Palantir's expertise to help customers improve their decision making in optimizing semiconductor materials. We worked with Merck to create a data sharing platform that enabled advanced predictive manufacturing for chemical mechanical polishing, a critical step in the semiconductor manufacturing process. Through this collaborative partnership, we implemented an AI-driven methodology to enable smart data collaboration that drove process and quality improvements. By extending this approach to the broader supply chain and enabling a data ecosystem, we believe advanced predictive manufacturing can be accelerated for the broader semiconductor industry, said Raj Narasimhan, Corporate Vice President, Global Quality, Micron Technology. So this must be a client of Merck, and they're attesting to the improvements that have happened by working with Merck already. The Athinia platform is powered by Palantir Foundry, which enables users to structure and analyze from disparate sources, generate powerful insights, and support operational decisions, all while helping to ensure that sensitive data is processed in accordance with applicable data privacy rules. Okay, so a lot of fluff, a lot of fluff. Even made me yawn a few times. I mean, it's 12:30, so please forgive me. But yeah, it's a lot of fluff here, but it looks like the partnership is going to be fruitful, and it's been tested already. It's been proven that it works. You know, Micron Technology said that they've been able to see some results. So now they've launched it into a actual product. Now let's see if I can find some information. I was actually in front of a video before. Is it this? Yeah, here you go. Athinia in the news. I actually found a video. It wasn't linked anywhere. So let's go through it.
Our goal is to help companies become pioneers within the industry, establishing a new quality standard for the semiconductor industry as we move forward. The semiconductor industry is experiencing a period of rapid expansion. In order to meet this challenge, we need to have speed, efficiency, and collaborative data ecosystem, where you can bring all the important parameters from a material together with the device manufacturer's key process steps and enable collaborative data sharing. Basically, think of this as finding the needle in the haystack. Athinia allows suppliers, material suppliers, as well as device manufacturers to come together to be proactive around identifying the key parameters that matter to the device performance early in the process, and then establish a predictive model for how that material impacts the process. So as you go forward and go through the yield ramp, if there are deviations in the process, you can identify those very quickly and respond. I think this is a really important question around security and IP protection as we look at establishing a data ecosystem within the industry. First of all, Athinia has the highest level of data security. Coming to the IP topic, the data sharing is enabled by coding and normalizing all of the data. And so you can learn across the ecosystem around the key trends without having any IP contamination. And this is a really key foundational element of how we've designed Athinia to be enabling for the industry, but also allow for each individual company to maintain their IP security. Athinia is the only semiconductor industry-wide many-to-many data platform that enables companies to come together to share data in a way that also has high level of data security and IP security. And this really enables us to solve the materials challenges both now and for the future.
Yeah. So it's pretty much a gathering of companies, data flow, and sharing of information without compromising any sensitive intellectual property, whether it is techniques, process steps that they do, but it's more catered to, manufacturers who are doing a technique and the materials they use, and whether, there's ways for them to use it better compared to others, I assume, without revealing any sensitive IP information. So clearly the company's super fresh. They say it's a data scientist company. Leadership team, Laura Matz, she must have been who we saw before. James Kugler, I have no idea who that is. Okay, Chief Digital Officer at Merck. Alec McShane, Zurich. What does he work? Oh, Alec McShane. He works at Palantir. Let's go. Executive Vice President. And Jeremy Ulcer. Who's this? I mean, I could probably click About Me and figure it out. Angel List. Data Scientist at Palantir Technologies. So click About. Alex serves as C-suite partner to leading public and private sector organizations as one of Palantir's key strategists for industrial clients. He oversees strategic client transformations in US, Europe, and Asia to drive ambitious top-line and bottom-line improvements using Palantir's data analytics solution. Before his current role at Palantir, he grew and led a $100 million multi-dollar franchise in Europe for one of the world's largest medical device providers. Alec has an MBA. Okay, Jeremy, data scientist at Palantir. For the past 5 years, he's been leading the Palantir engineering team at Merck. So Palantir has been in business with Merck for 5 years. Mm, bet. I never knew that. Did you know that? So he's been working at Merck for 5 years, leading their team, driving the data integration operationalization efforts in the electronics semiconductor business. Before his tenure at Palantir, he served as a consultant at BCG, focused on advanced financial model. Sounds really boring, but it sounds like he's doing something pretty cool now. Okay, so this is very nice to know. So what do we know so far? It's a billion-dollar division. Palantir has been working in Merck for 5 years. Palantir and Merck has decided to come together, join forces, bring Merck's expertise in the semiconductor industry and bring Palantir's know-how and ability to put things together in an intelligent way to help make decisions. Mash that together to create Athinia and take this product and sell it to various players in the semiconductor industry. And if EMD is the gateway, the company behind companies, that's their word, not mine, then they will be able to onboard a lot of clients to make this a credible product offering. Now, how do I see this translating into the P&L for Palantir? I I am not sure. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Um, because they made no mention that Athinia is going to be paying to use Palantir's licenses. That's the financial data or information that's missing. I don't know how this joint venture is structured, who's contributing what to the partnership. One can only assume Palantir is contributing Foundry and Athinia is contributing their human capital to develop the sales pipeline. And then they both will want to benefit from this. Or will it be a joint venture? Palantir offers the Foundry software solution, the Foundry solution to Athinia, and then Athinia turns around, takes the data, and sells it to the various customers across the semiconductor industry for a license. And then those licenses generate revenues. And then those revenues are split as profits, if it's profitable, between Merck and Palantir. I'm trying to see if there's any other details that can be insightful here from this deal, but I think we've covered it all. I mean, let's go look at Athinia to see if there's any other information here. I think they're super fresh. Like, oh, they're based out of Massachusetts in the US. Okay. Jobs, no jobs yet. People, no people. So this is like fresh news. So there's not much for us to work on. I know that it's exciting that Palantir has been working with Merck or is working with Merck, and Merck is a major business, but in my opinion, it's something that we shouldn't really be surprised about. Palantir has been dealing with major companies and major government bodies for many years now. But I think all of this is, regardless, an excellent strategic move, because now Palantir is locking down a heavily reliant, or no, not heavily reliant, a heavily valued industry industry that the world really can't function without, which is semiconductors. And Palantir has gotten its foot in the door and is now expanding its reach within that industry by partnering with a key player in that industry. Why is this good for Palantir from a strategic point of view? Because they do not have to invest in developing these sales channels. They don't have to invest in developing the credibility, the contacts. There's no sales on. There's no front-ended ops here that would cost Palantir a lot of money, which would have been the case if Palantir tried to do it on their own. And now that they have a credible partner, I think they can start with the partner's customers and slowly expand. And if you think about it, this is where it gets really juicy, is semiconductors are critical pieces to a lot of manufacturers, especially, car makers, laptops, all the electronics we use. So if all of these manufacturers are working under a just-in-time model, I mean, right now it's not just in time because COVID is really screwing things up. But when they slowly get back to that just-in-time model, when they reach out to these semiconductor players, they might just say, "Hey, buddy, you need to connect to my Athinia software, and so you can be plugged in on how everything is going for your order, so that we don't have to have these morning calls. You could just see it live, and it's available to you." Then these the buyers down the supply chain or the value chain will suddenly subscribe to the Athinia license. So these are all cascading effects, ripple effects. I don't see it materializing within the next 12 months, even though I'm the most optimistic person. I think it will be like a 2-3 year project, but it's a project that's going to allow Palantir to scale and then control and be the only data service provider that the industry relies on. So obviously I killed the time. I'm at 32 minutes. It's actually 12:48, so I'm gonna sign off. I gotta go to bed and wake up for work the next day. But thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for leaving your feedback, hitting the like buttons. It means so much to me. When I look at these things throughout my day at work, it really means a lot, that what I'm doing is being appreciated. So that's all I have to say. And, please leave me your feedback and let's stay in touch. And until the next one, hopefully I'll put another video tomorrow. So let's keep it going. All the best. Thank you. That was a weird thank you and take care. Take care. Thanks.